Hi, welcome to One Word a Day. I'm Sophie, your pilot into the universe of Chinese. Let's continue exploring Chinese response to the contemporary technology using its already existing, sometimes used for other stuff, but recombined this permutation and combination of Chinese characters to create a new meaning, and that's the superpower of this language. Yesterday we talked about the 互联网 to mean internet. Now, some people who has this great sense of the language just switch out one character from 互联网 to make it into 物联网 and means Internet of Things. And I find that that is it gotta be a native language speaker because 互 and 物 sounds almost the same. It rhymes. And it does exactly that. It serves the purpose of translating internet because internet, 互联网 was already long existed, probably 1 or 2 decades in the lingo, and people understand, okay, 互联网, when they hear about it, it means internet. Now, Internet of Things was a new thing, probably 10 years old. Sorry, I didn't bother to check, but it's a later technology when devices are connected on internet, right? And supposedly you can remote control your devices through the internet. And that Internet of Things, IoT, was a later invention. And then somebody just switch out this 互 to 物 to mean exactly that, because things in Chinese is this 物, and it happened to sound like 互. How amazing is that? I think it is a great translation. When me as a language user first time came across 物联网, just without checking out what that is, I already know this probably is just Internet of Things. Somebody switch out, and it has the internet connection over there, still have the connecting net over there, and then we just switch out the 互 to 物. That means things on the net, and I translate it as a things connecting net. In a way, I reorganized the English translation to try to map English to the Chinese as close as possible. And just by reading it, things connecting net, that's Internet of Things as well, right? But that's the Chinese sequence. We didn't go for 互联网 and then something about 物, that's too wordy. Just 物 in the beginning, and you're supposed to connecting this 物, this things onto the net. All right, so again, 物, we have the ox icon, which made of the coordinates of horizontal vertical lines together. That gives you the skeletal structure of the ox. And this is a full frontal view of the ox. And you can see the horns rendered this way out. I mean, it's a very powerful rendering of how the ox was supposed to look. I mean, a few episodes ago, I did my own rendering. It doesn't really have, it lost the power, but somehow ancient language noters took care to really make the horn look sharp, especially at the end over there, right? And that the horns are the main feature of the ox. So Chinese as a language to represent the physical world in abstraction, like to a degree of abstraction, did a job of just full frontal view of the ox by the simple coordinate at the horn on the top. And that's our ox. And the right side here originally means flag. And you can see it almost like the bird's wing as well. But bird's wing doesn't have the sequence. I mean, it looks like a harp, right? The strings are longer, but the wings, the bird's wings doesn't look the same. Anyways, that's a digression. This means flag. And ancient times, a flag was used as the icon of a tribe or a clan. So especially on the battlefield, you want to know which side is which, and you have to put their flags up there. And I mean, contemporary, not exactly contemporary, but probably World War I or II still, by that era, just 100 years ago, not even 100 years ago, people still fight wars physically. On the battlefield, we still use flag, right? So that's an ancient practice all the way till contemporary, almost contemporary. Okay. Now there's a flag use here. It shows different stripes on the flag. So I guess you can imagine French or German flags. They have stripes of color going mostly horizontally, right? And that stripes of color is kind of a coding to represent their country or their tribe. So this, again, is an ancient practice that's shown on this icon. So that's flag. And the flag, because the combination of color code is supposedly, and well, ancient pigments probably is also limited. So, but still, it's a variety of combination, right? So this flag eventually to mean variety. It's a variety of colors, variety of combination of colors, and just from the flag, it can represent a diverse, coloring of to represent however many tribes you want to represent over there. So this diversity, ox together, probably means the ox as animal category have a diversity of their own, like even within the ox, even we abstract the ox to just this 3 strokes, the ox itself in the physical world came in all these color combinations. I mean, color is just a superficial thing, but there are like a variety of oxes over there, different species or categories of ox out there, right? And eventually humans domesticate them for different functions. Some are for meat. I mean, we still have beef even till today, and some are for farm work. And I don't have personal interaction with ox, but I drove past farm of beef production farm, and according to some people who does have this personal interaction with this animal, said that oxes are super intelligent. They can be a great pet actually, but because of their size, it's not domesticatable for majority of people. But they have this good understanding of like good rapport with human to interact with them. I mean, that's that's enough to say that eventually this 2 character means a variety of ox, and ox means non-human animated things. And eventually this animation is gone. Like it doesn't have to be animal, it doesn't have to be living things. It can be anything, non-human. And then this is a variety. So together, it's eventually just means variety of things. And that's things, okay. Lian, we have the ear, we have the fabric, or a fabric means connection. Chinese has an expression called 藕断丝连. The lotus root was cut, but the fibers that going through that lotus root still connected. So that creates you the image of this fiber in the structure, how connected they are, even if on the surface, the big chunky block was cut open, but you can still see the fibers are connected. That's a Chinese expression, and this is this character. In contemporary, it was simplified into this, simply like a squiggly lines that looks like fiber, right? Ancient Chinese, we have the spool of thread connected to another spool of thread, and together they are going to form a draping fabric, and this is the fabric draping icon, and 2 of them means many, right? So this implies this connecting superpower of this, even it looks tiny, right? Cross-sectionally, this lotus root is so much bigger than the tiny fiber, but this big thing can break. It's the tiny fiber that retains the connection. And so this, harmless looking thing have the superpower of connecting. And the ear is the organ that on our head that's kind of protruding, and probably language creators view the ear as something that's external to the head, but through millions of such tiny thread are firmly connected to the head, and together to create this connecting, the sense of connecting. That's how connected things are. It's basically attached to my brain, to my head. Okay, and one, we have this visualization of a space with two crosses, and that's enough to show things are interconnected. I mean, enough to show the pattern of the net, because somehow the net doesn't come with this cross, right? It's a diagonal cross, right? In both East and West, we view the net of things are kind of like this. This is how net looks, not this way. I don't know why. Probably something related to gravity. Okay, 物联网 simply is Internet of Things. And I guess nowadays more and more things are connected. And it was used to be this hype maybe 10 years ago. Nowadays, I don't hear it as often, even if our internet superpower or our phone application gets a lot more complicated, more apps, more people on this, forever connection mode, and the counter trend to unplug things. But maybe 10 years ago, when Internet of Things came on, people are advocating for the forever connectivity over there. And that's Chinese response to this trend, 物联网. Thank you for your time. See you another day.